Hi, I'm Eri. I'm a teaching artist with Kaiser Permanente's educational theater program in collaboration with Oregon Children's Theater. Today, I'm going to be reading this book. It's called Suki's Kimono. Have you seen this type of outfit before? It's called kimono. It's a traditional outfit from Japan, which is where I'm from. In fact, I'm wearing a kimono right now. It was a gift from my mother, and I love wearing it for special occasions. Do you have a favorite outfit that makes you feel special? Well, for Suki, it was her kimono. In fact, she liked it so much that she chose to wear it for her first day of school, no matter what anyone said. Why did she like it so much? What's so special about it? Well, let's find out, shall we? Suki's Kimono. Suki's Kimono, written by Chieri Uegaki, illustrated by Stefan Yorish. On the first day of school, Suki wanted to wear her kimono. Her sisters did not approve. "You can't wear that," said Mari. "People will think you're weird." "You can't wear that," said Yumi. "Everyone will laugh and no one will play with you." "You need something new, Suki. You need something cool." But Suki shook her head. She didn't care for new. She didn't care for cool. She wanted to wear her favorite thing, and her favorite thing was her kimono. Suki's obachan, which means grandma in Japanese, had given her the kimono. The first time Suki wore it, her obachan took her to a street festival where they slurped bowls of slippery, cold somen noodles and shared a cone of crunchy, shaved ice topped with a sweet red bean sauce. Under strings of paper lanterns, Suki joined her obachan in a circle dance. She followed her and copied her movements, trying to be as light and as graceful. She watched the other women and children who danced, especially those who were dressed in cotton kimonos like her. Later, Suki sat so close to the stage that when the taiko drummers performed, boom, 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 she felt like she'd swallowed a ball of thunder and her whole insides quaked and quivered. Before they left the festival, Suki and her obachan stopped at a souvenir stand. There were many things to choose from, but her obachan found the prettiest thing of all: a handkerchief of pale pink linen, decorated with tiny maple leaves and cherry blossoms. When she gave it to Suki, she said, "This will help you remember our day." Do you have a favorite memory like this with your family? Perhaps when your grandparents visited you in the summer, or when you visited your cousins with your parents? I think every one of us has a special memory with our families. When I was little, I used to go to these summer festivals with my family and friends and had a lot of fun. For Suki, it must have been such a special day with her obachan. Now, it was time for school. Mother checked Suki's obi one last time and took a picture of Mari, Yumi, and Suki together by the front steps. Then, as she watched, the three sisters made their way down the block to their school. Mari and Yumi stayed several paces ahead of Suki and pretended they didn't know her. But Suki didn't mind. She turned and waved to her mother before she clip-clopped along in her shiny red geta feeling very pleased in her fan-patterned blue kimono. Once in a while, Suki would lift her arms and let the butterfly sleeves flutter in the breeze. It made her feel like she'd grown her own set of wings. When they reached the school, Mari and Yumi hurried across the yard to a group of their friends. Suki stopped and looked around. Some of the children turned and stared at her, and others giggled and pointed at her kimono. But Suki ignored them. Has that ever happened to you? Someone staring at you, making you feel uncomfortable because of how you look or what you're wearing? How does that make you feel? You might feel awkward, embarrassed, or maybe even lonely. Suki probably felt all of that too, but she decided to stand strong and be proud of herself. She took a seat on the swing to wait for the bell. A girl dressed in overalls, just like a pair Suki had at home, sat on the swing beside her. "Hi, Suki," said the girl. "Hi, Penny," said Suki. "How come you're dressed so funny?" Penny asked. "Where'd you get those shoes?" Suki lifted her feet off the sand and wiggled her toes. "I'm not dressed funny," she said. "My grandma gave me these shoes." Suki started pumping her legs. After a moment, Penny did the same, and soon they were both swinging as fast and as high as they could. Swoosh, swoosh, up and up. When the bell rang, Suki and Penny jumped off their swings and ran to the gym for the first day assembly. Once they were finally taken to their new classroom, Suki chose a desk near the window. Penny chose a desk next to Suki. As they waited for everyone to find a seat, two boys in front of Suki turned and snickered behind their hands. One of the boys reached over and snatched at Suki's sleeve. "Look at this," he said. "She's a bat." Suki felt her cheeks burn. Do you know this expression? Burning cheeks? It means you're so embarrassed that it feels like your cheeks are on fire. Your cheeks might even turn red. Has that ever happened to you before? Imagine wearing your favorite outfit that means so much to you and having somebody make fun of you for wearing it. How would that make you feel? That would make me feel very sad and upset and embarrassed all at the same time. Again, Suki probably felt all of that too, but she stayed strong. Suki felt her cheeks burn, but she did not respond. Instead, she concentrated on sitting up straight and tall, the way her obachan always did. It was easy to do with an obi wrapped snug around her middle. Her obi was golden yellow, and in its folds, Suki had tucked away her pale pink handkerchief. "Welcome to the first grade," said the teacher. "My name is Mrs. Paggio." She smiled. "Let's introduce ourselves and tell everyone what we did this summer." When it was her turn to speak, Suki stood up and told the teacher her name. "Hello, Suki," said Mrs. Paggio. "What did you do this summer?" "My grandma visited us," she said, straightening her sleeves. "She brought me my kimono and my getup." Suki raised her foot to show the teacher her wooden clog. Somewhere in the classroom, someone laughed, but Suki took a deep breath and continued. The best thing was that she took me to a festival, and there were dancing girls dressed like me, and they danced like this. She took a few steps and swayed her arms sideways. Look, now she's dancing, someone said. But Suki didn't hear. She hummed the music she remembered hearing at the festival. She remembered how it felt to dance barefoot in the open air on fresh-cut grass that tickled her toes. She tried to picture the other dancers, how they moved forward in a circle with the rhythm of the music, how they stamped their feet, first right, then left, swung their arms, first up, then down, how they stepped back and back and back, then clapped. When Suki couldn't remember the next step, she made it up just to keep dancing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, stop. When she finished, the room seemed very quiet. Everyone was watching her. Suki sat down, wondering if she was in trouble. But Mrs. Paggio said, "That was wonderful, Suki!" And she started to clap. Then, so did Penny. And after a moment, so did the entire class. After school, as the three sisters walked home together, Mari and Yumi grumbled about their first day. "No one even noticed my new sweater," said Mari. "No one even noticed my cool shoes," said Yumi. But Suki just smiled as she clip-clopped along behind them. Suki pulled out the pale pink handkerchief from her obi and held it up over her head to catch the wind. And in her blue cotton kimono and in her shiny red geta, Suki danced all the way home. The end. That was Suki's Kimono. This book has taught me something very valuable, which is the importance of being yourself. Whenever I'm worried about what other people might think of me, I'll just think of Suki and remind myself, just be yourself and show them what you love and what you're proud of. Now, let's talk about this story from another perspective. What would you do if you were one of Suki's classmates? How would you respond to the sharing of her cultural outfit and dance recital? In your real life, what would you do if you met someone who's very different from you and you know nothing about their culture? Would you just ignore them? Make fun of them? The way that some of Suki's classmates made fun of her? Or would you try to get to know them better the way Penny did? What are some ways we can get to know someone better? How about dancing together? So, as our special activity today, I'm going to show you how to dance like Suki. It is called Bon dance. It is a style of dance known throughout Japan and around the world, even here in Portland. Remember that summer festival Suki's obachan took her to? with taiko drummers and beautiful lanterns and people dancing in a big circle. That is called Bon Festival. Bon is a Japanese tradition to honor the spirits of our ancestors. You might be familiar with Dia de los Muertos or Day of the Dead, which is a Mexican tradition with a similar idea. In both of these holidays, it is believed that the spirits of those who are dead will return to visit us. So we dance together to celebrate the reunion. Isn't that a fun way to connect with people? So, without further ado, I'd like to invite you all to dance with me. Come on, let's go. The dance we're going to be doing today is called Tanko Bushi, a coal miner song, which is the most well-known Bon dance in the world. It's called a coal miner song because it is inspired by coal miners' movement. All right, let's begin. First, we are going to clap our hands like this. Twice and once. And starting with our right side, we are going to do a digging movement like this. Dig, dig, and to the left, dig, dig. And we're going to carry the coal, and while stepping back with our left foot, we're going to look at the moon, and now we're going to go forward with our right foot, push the cart, and we're going to step forward, open our arms, come back, and clap. And we're going to go back to digging, and we're going to repeat the same movements over and over again until the song is done. Okay? Shall we try it with the music?
Suki ga deta deta, Suki ga deta, uchi no yama no uie ni deta. Amari entoku ga takai no de, Sazo ya otsuki-san, kemuta karo sana yoi yoi. Hitoyama, futayama, miyama.
Like this, we're going to keep repeating the same movements over and over again until the song is done. So that was Tanko Bushi Bon Dance. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again soon.